Meetings are bullshit if there's no execution. Motivation is a piece of crap if there's no action and execution attached to that one. 90% of your time should be spent taking actions, making calls, meeting with potential clients, sending 100 emails a day. If you want to lose weight, there's no point jumping up and down on the scale. You can put the targets there, but if you cannot measure efforts and results, you cannot improve it. I have heard from every business guru, hire slow, fire. I disagree with this statement. Hire fast, fire fast. Because I am Zaffar Khan. Welcome to Zaffarology. After building multiple businesses, starting as a taxi driver training and scaling into multi-million-dollar success, I have learned the exact frameworks that can make any business a success. If you are a business owner who's tired of the guesswork and wants proven strategies to grow and scale, you are in the right place. Let's turn your vision into thriving business. I have done nothing in my life except business. A taxi driving, a cleaning, but that was long time back. So I know why business fail. One of the major reasons business fail is this: they don't have right staff. 99.9% time people think business is failed because lack of cash. Cash is king. I don't agree. My thinking is this: every business starts with some cash. But that cash goes in those people's hands who don't know how to handle cash. It means at the end of the day, if you have a right staff, that's say the major thing is having right staff. Then second thing is you need to take actions on a daily basis to bring the money to the business. Yes, money is oxygen for the business. That's one thing you have to do. And how I suggest is this: honest every day, have an AM planning and PM achievement. In the morning, plan how to bring the money to the business. In other words, sales and marketing. In business is not easy. It has thousands of things to do it. Poor business people, I feel sorry for them. They have lots of things, lots of operational things, email check, mobile check, answering phone calls, texting, but all that is, guys, irrelevant. God, that is the reason we are failed in business, because the real thing, we don't do it. I can tell you all those operational things are dead body. I'm going to tell you what is the soul of the business. Dead body is useless until soul is in there. When the soul is there, it becomes human. You can talk. And soul is this: bringing money to the business. And how you can bring the money to the business? In my opinion, 90% of your time on a daily basis should be spent how to bring money to the business. Not only how to think about it, taking actions, jumping into it, making calls, meeting with potential clients 90% of the time. And if you do 90% of the time on daily basis, have AM planning, it can be meeting 2 clients a day, making 20 calls a day, sending 100 emails a day. Then, and at the end of the day, have a PM achievement. Say what I planned in the morning, whether I have achieved today this today or not. I'm not talking about here weekly report. I'm not talking fortnightly report. I'm not talking monthly or 3. I'm talking daily report. Daily report have to be daily report, AM planning and PM achievement, to bring the money to the company. When you do 1 day, 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, 90% of your time. 7th day, 8th day, 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, 80 days, 90 days. Wow. Then it's a consistency happens without even missing 1 day. When consistency happens, what happens? You will have a compounding effect. Not many people know about it. Consistency runs into a compounding effect. Consistency means not even 1 day off. Like you eat every day. You go to the loo every day. You do those things. But in business, you have to do AM planning and PM achievement, major action, one major action to bring the money to the company on a daily basis and up to 90 days. I think it's impossible to be unsuccessful. And that's one thing. Another advice I would like to give, that forget about the result side of it. Okay, you can have the targets and you can put the targets there, but talk about efforts. Do the efforts first. Efforts leads to results. Just for example, if you want, your car should never be broken down. They should not thinking all the time, car should not break down, car should not break down. Get the service car, get your car serviced regularly. Results would be, car will not be broken down. So efforts is important. If you want to lose weight, there's no point jumping up and down on the scale. Calories in, what you burn the calories. Results will be on the scale. Guys, efforts is a very important thing. You have to measure efforts, and efforts leads to results. Nothing, if you cannot measure efforts and results, you cannot improve it. You need to know where you stand. That's why I always say in business health, have a business health check on a monthly basis. We go to the doctor to check our health once in a lifetime or once in a year. Get it checked on a monthly basis by a professional people, by accountants and so on. What means a check monthly business health check? It means that where the business starts, how much money is coming, how much you're spending, how much money you are owing, how much people are owing to you that money, and what you are in a profit or loss. You should know your business on a monthly basis. Even something is going wrong, you can fix it. Only you can't fix it when you don't know where you stand. It's like a cancer. If you have an initial stage of cancer, you can fix it and you can improve it, you can get rid of that cancer. But if you don't even know that and it becomes brain cancer, life will finish in 1, 2, 3 weeks or 3 months. You will finish. The same way, when we don't have a business health check on a monthly basis, then it becomes cancer and it's very hard to find out. When I was in New Zealand, I was the second largest in New Zealand. I had car yards, I had a car auction, finance company. I did not know how much money was coming. Obviously, that gone into receivership and I personally became bankrupted. Now I see what happened. First, I was hiring only honest people, not looking, do they have any ability or not. I was looking for only will, but not skill at all. They had a character, they were honest people, but if they didn't have skill, I was putting them on a job. I made that mistake. So I strongly believe you need to have some values and at the same time hire people with skill. Particularly when you're starting the job, when you're starting a business, you need to have full skillful person. When you go to the next level, high level, you can have some people with the will and lack of skill, and you can add the skill by putting them with people who have the skill. But to start with, you got to have people with skill, definitely. Without skill, otherwise things will not improve, you will not like to become the, like disastrous situation. I would say over 90% businesses become disastrous situations, while businesses are failing. They don't have people with the skill. They must have people with skill. And of course, will as well, but skill and will, both things together. They have people with attitude and skill. And the second reason was, I never used to check monthly business health check. If I would have checked monthly business health check at that time, and if the things were going wrong, from hundreds of employees, I could reduce the employment to 50% or 20% or 30%. And I know that 100% I could have saved my group of companies going into receivership and bankruptcy in those days. But I did not know where I stand. I just saying was hundreds of millions of dollars are coming. That's what I was looking at only. And when this thing happened, and I did not know, what are the monies coming, what are the expenses you're doing, and how much money you owe, how much other people owe, and what's the end result is, what the bottom line is. So it's very important to have monthly business health check, that where the business stands financially. Listen, building a business isn't about luck. It's about having the right blueprint. I have spent years scaling many companies into a multi-million-dollar empire, and I have put everything I have learned into my latest book, 8 Pillars of Business Success. It is the exact framework I use to build, grow, and dominate in business. If you want real strategies that actually work, this book is your recipe. Everything you need to grow is one click away. Get your copy now through the link in the show notes. Back to the episode. Another thing is, when any of your employee comes to you, train them from the day one. Tell them what your expectations are. And even at the interview, you tell your expectations. And then if they accept the job, in the offer letter, acceptance letter, mention those expectations. If it's a weekly report, a monthly report, or even daily report, by the way, for the salespeople, have to be daily report, AM planning, PM achievement. Rest can be fortnightly, weekly, depends what kind of reports are those ones. They must understand. And particularly for the salespeople, you ask them, they have to give the report on a daily basis, 5-6 reports a week. 5 reports a week if it's Monday to Friday. And at the interview, at the job offer letter, at the contract, when they have induction, you talk about it. Business people make mistakes. They put people on job without training. And second thing is they put training and they give one job. No. There's missing one part. Training and evaluation of that training. Check that out, whether they have understood or not. If they have not learned, then you have to give them training again. Evaluate them again. Again, they didn't understand. Give 3, 4, 5, 6 time trainings. But do not put them on a job unless they know what they're doing. Or, worse come to worse, have a buddy, put them with somebody experienced to do that one. And then when this thing happens, you must put the people job on training, evaluation of the training, then tell them we're going to have the fortnightly performance management. Not once in a year. Not, it's too late. Not in 3 months performance management, fortnightly performance management. And when you have a fortnightly performance management, they do expect that. Another mistakes business people make, they say, hire slow and fire fast. I have heard from every business guru, hire slow, fire. I disagree with this statement. Hire fast, fire fast. Because if you have a good people, you think if you try to hire them slow, they will not stay. They will somebody else will take them. You need to grab them quickly. Hire fast good people. And at the same time, if they can't perform, fire fast as well. Then another thing is this. When you give one project to somebody, have a 2-minute accountability sessions. Like it can be huddle meetings, 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes meeting, they have to talk only 3 things. Completed, project is completed, not completed, or the new date. That's it. You don't want long stories. Because they have 1 week or 2 weeks to complete the project anyway. During that 1 week or 2 weeks, they can get the advice, they can have, if they have an issue, they can get the guidance, they can get help, they can get all those sort of things. But accountability sessions, only 2 minutes they have. Because it's a very high-level meeting, they have to see whether you have completed, not completed, new date. That's it, finished. No long story, not love story, nothing. We do not need the reasoning. Give the reasonings once again, they had the time beforehand, before come to the huddle meetings. It's very interesting to let you know, I had one person, he was chartered accountant. I hired him, knowing him that he can understand everything, but his accountancy was not with local experience from overseas. And I thought he was very honest person. He was honest person, but he could not his job was only one thing, to see where the business is. But he did not know, he hid his mistakes. He did not know how to check, because he even did not know. Later on, I came to know he did not know even how to use that software, accounting software. I came to know later on, but that was too late at that time. That staff members or employee is very, very dangerous, who make mistakes and don't inform you. That's conspiracy, intentionally or unintentionally. If there's any staff, they make mistakes and they inform you, it shows 2 things. First, they're human. And the second thing, they're honest. So making mistakes is okay as long as they inform you. When they inform you making mistakes, you fix together. You support them. You help them. You don't offend them. You don't disrespect them. When you pinpoint their mistakes, do it one-on-one. So nobody should hear about them, about that mistake. So their personal respect should be there. And pinpoint very small, lightly, like, praise them and, pinpoint whatever you have and then praise again. So very respectfully you talk, pass on your point. And so they should understand you are not disrespecting them, but at the same time, you are pinpointing their mistakes. At the end of the day, in the business, I have to mention that there's nothing more important than execution. And the second important thing is execution. And the third important thing is execution. And the fourth and fifth and sixth, execution and execution and execution. I always say meetings are bullshit if there's no execution. If somebody have lots of motivation, that motivation is a piece of crap if there's no action and execution plan attached to that one. And if you really want to have any meetings or any discussions, you must put the execution date there and who will be accountable to complete that one. And that execution date, according to my point of view, it have to be within 1 week. Start execution of that decision or complete execution within 1 week. But everything have to be start within 1 week. And in business, all those things are theories and beautiful parts are, all they are become useless if there's no execution. Execution is the key and implementation is the key. Real thing is the execution. And I can tell you one major difference between successful companies and not successful companies. Successful companies execute quickly. Not just the execution. Delayed, justice denied. Execution delayed, no execution. To me, execution have to be within 1 week. We have so many people I met all the time. They say, I have $1 million idea. I have $100 million idea. To me, idea means nothing. You go to the Google search, you have 3 million ideas. Each idea might be $1 billion idea. But that idea cannot be put into practice unless you execute. And there, by the way, there are 3 kinds of ideas. One idea comes, new idea comes. Without any money, you can implement. You can execute that idea. Second idea comes. Second idea is you need a little bit money to execute, a little bit discipline to execute. Third one, you need a big discipline, big money, and so on. But many things can be started with execution, with no money, with with the tiny discipline. Why not we start doing this one? Thinking big is fine, but execution, small ideas, focus on small. That runs into big things, but only the whole idea is this, that having any idea have to be executed, taking action of it. You see, lots of people talk about ideas. I have this $1 million idea. I'm not going to share with you. Bloody hell. Why not share? The Google and ChatGPT is full of ideas. The real thing is jumping into it. Otherwise, idea will become that kind of idea when you want to learn how to swim. Theoretically, you can see how to swim, but you cannot learn how to swim until you jump into the water. Practically, execute your body into the water. You can learn how to drive. You can get on the computer, but you cannot drive yourself unless you drive yourself car under the supervision. Then the one time comes, that you can drive yourself. The real thing is execution of that idea, execution of any idea. That's the real thing. What I spoke, I'd like to recap again, maybe in 7 headings, 7 points. First and major, AM planning, PM achievement. Full focus, 90% to bring the money to the company. Then full focus, number 2 is efforts. Talk about efforts. Efforts leads to results. Then third point was hire the right staff. When you hire right staff, your problem will be almost fixed, and delegate the job and trust them and so on. Then you have the fortnightly performance management, not monthly or yearly. Fortnightly. Then you got to have accountability meetings, like 2-minute meetings weekly basis, or 2 minutes huddle meetings, you can say that, and where you have whether they have completed the project, not completed, or the new date. Then you got to have a monthly business health check, where the business stands, money wise. You are owing the money, or business is making money, or whatever. And the 7th one and the last one, guys, execution. And I like to mention, if you have any other issue, you are more than welcome to reach out to me, and I will try to answer all of your questions in next episode. Thanks for tuning into Zaffrology. If you found value in this episode, the best way to support the show is by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. For more content, find me on all social media platforms or visit zaffarkhan.com. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep smiling. I will see you in the next episode.